The ACCC, and by extension the Australian government, has decided to take on two of the world's richest and most powerful corporations, Google and Facebook, to try to claw back some of the ad revenue that they're sucking out of Australia's news media. In response, Google and Facebook have threatened to walk out, slamming the door behind them. There are now two questions before the House. Are they bluffing? And does it matter? But first, let's look at what brought this about. Over the past 10 years, total newspaper revenues have fallen from $5.5 billion to $3 billion, a fall of 45%. Online advertising and subscriptions have come nowhere near offsetting the decline in print advertising and cover price. While TV ad revenue has fallen, for newspapers it's collapsed. All of the money has gone online, which is up from $0 to $8 billion in 15 years, and more than half of that goes to Google and Facebook. The result is falling numbers of journalists, and the ACCC says journalism is a public good. So it's drafted a law that would require Google and Facebook to negotiate a payment for content from news publishers. If there's no deal in 3 months, it goes to compulsory arbitration. But buried in the draft bill is something called the non-discrimination clause, which basically says it's all or nothing. It's a poison pill. It would stop Google and Facebook dropping one publisher because it can't or won't do a deal with them. They have to include all news or no news. Facebook says, right then, it's no news. Google says the definition of news looks so broad it would have to stop operating in Australia entirely. Last week, Treasurer Josh Frydenberg said the government is committed to these reforms. Now, Australia is a small country far away, but this momentous stoush here could affect social media everywhere in the world. The outcome, though, might depend on whether Josh Frydenberg's got somebody else in his corner, specifically the Americans. Now, here's a chart of Google searches in the United States for the term ACCC. It looks like they're getting interested. This is an historic moment. Australia could be about to change the world.